Hello and welcome to Flicks and Chill with me, Luke, and
Jane.
yes, he's back. Even though he's never technically left, so I'm still happy about this. Like how this is working out. I love how we made this big announcement, and since then nothing's changed. So it was like, okay, great. I'm loving this.
We tricked all of you.
But yeah, this is our show where we talk about anything movie related. So we're gonna do a quick rant or rave. We will discuss one pop culture news, and today's big topic is Shane.
So our big topic for today is talking about making comebacks.
Correct.
So people that we want to see come back into movies. Um, Obviously they could be actors that have disappeared or filmmakers or somebody that, we want to see come back making movies and because we miss them.
Yes. And funny enough, I wasn't even trying, but all of mine are women actresses. Like
Oh,
I wasn't even trying because my criteria were we'll get to that. But
yeah.
I had some strict criteria on this because I'm like this wouldn't be a comeback. So yeah. Anyway, and then as always, we will finish the show with a very quick recommend from each of us. But now, Shane, how are you doing? What do you wanna rant or rave about anything?
I want to rave about all the boutique physical media companies that we have out there.
Okay.
Because, like, obviously, if you could, well, this is an audio podcast, but if you've ever watched any of my videos, you see all my movie collection behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, Criterion gets a lot of the attention. And trust me, I love me some Criterion
Yes.
collection. And I will shamelessly plug Criterion collection if any of Criterion wants to sponsor any of the things that I do.
Yes.
But I just appreciate that there's other boutique uh physical media labels that are doing a lot of great work and bringing a lot of films back to life on physical media. Whether it's, Kino Lorber has some good stuff. Arrow is a
Hmm.
fun one because it's a lot of like horror and, cult classic types of
Yes.
movies. Umbrella from Down Under, um from where our buddy Adam is from.
Hmm.
And because like I spent $60 on it, but I'm very proud of my Angel's Egg 4K that I bought, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And there's just so many, as somebody who loves physical media and wanting to preserve all different types of film, they're doing the work.
Hmm.
I got hundreds of beavers from Vinegar Syndrome because they release it on physical media. Uh, it's literally right behind my head, and it appears that physical media is making a comeback because Gen Z is big onto physical media, which makes me happy, and it should because movies deserve to be around and preserved and not, to the
Hmm.
whims of whatever streaming service and stuff like that. But no, some of these boutique labels make some really awesome physical media releases, and it's a good time to be a physical media fan for sure.
100%. I will say to this, I admire you and Adam because you tend to remember this is kind of the same thing as for me as movies and studios. I love movies, but do I remember, hey, this movie was it made by MGM or was it made by Paramount or was it made by Universal? I can't remember for shit. I know I love them, and it's the same
Yeah,
unless it's like Arrow because the Arrow usually have like a nice covers, like a funky graphics, and Arrow is in UK. Arrow, like I know, like I have a store here where I live. They have a lot of Arrow stuff. So, you know, Arrow is like a unique, but anything else, if Adam asks me, "Hey, do you have this 4K by this company?" I'm like, "I have a 4K. I don't know if it was produced by this company or that company because I cannot remember these details. Like my brain already holds so much unnecessary shit." Like I don't like I admire you and Adam because you like you basically know, oh yeah, this 4K is by this company. And I'm like, sure, I believe you. I don't know. So yeah. But no,
like
to your point.
obviously,
Mhm.
like Criterion is
Oh
like a
yes.
very distinct thing, and
Yes.
them they know what they're doing with the whole like numbering them and all of these things, and
Hmm.
now they're re-releasing a whole bunch on 4K.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I really hope they focus on the 4Ks on their out of print DVDs
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because some of the criterions are old. So
Yep. No, like, but it is great time to be a film collector. It is like, a lot of choices, and it's good that young people are like, you know what? I'm not gonna pay for 10,000 streaming services, and I'm sick and tired of ads everywhere. So, Blu-rays, 4Ks, even DVDs are still the only escape from ads, even though my kind of prediction is that's gonna change. Because I don't know about you, but my 4K player is online. So how long before they start to do what they do with podcasts? They insert a thing where you need to be online, you need to connect, so it can play you some ads, and then you can purchase this disc for lesser amount of money because it's ads, or you can purchase the original with no ads for more money because you're paying for the privilege of having no ads. How long before that technology is around?
don't throw that out there, Luke.
Look, if
Don't put
my
that in the universe.
if my no, my rule of thumb is if my dumb brain can think of it, somebody's already thought of it and already put it in emotion. I guarantee you, there's like on like to be fair, for all the shit we give to Sony, I think justly, I'll tell you another thing. They are still good because they have a patent and it's a technology excuse me that actually exists where your TV actually can track what you're watching. So you know how there's a concept of if you have ads and you go to the toilet, play around on your phone. No, that ad would stop until you actually lock back eyes with your TV. Sony, if I'm not mistaken, somebody has the patent to that technology, but they are not rolling it out yet. So, Sony, you're the good guys. Don't listen to the previous episodes where we talk shit about you. You are the good guys. Thank you for so much for holding on to the technology, having the patent, and not actually utilizing it. Thank you so much.
Oh my. Well, Luke, what is your rant or rave?
So, during our discussion on the cinematic wasteland, shameless plug, we touched on this, and I'm like, yeah, I hate when you do that. So my rant is very specific. I hate when they release, and then this is you need to actually let me finish the sentence and understand where I'm coming from. When they re-release movies in a cinema with new scenes added in them, just to inflate the box office numbers. Avengers Endgame. Anybody? Because that's what they seem to be doing now. In order to get you hyped for the Doomsday, we will release Endgame for like 10,000 times now, and that movie is not even 10 years old, and it has so many re-releases. But hey, this time around, there's gonna be some scenes, to get you in the mood for Avengers Doomsday. And this is my point. I'm not against re-releasing older movies in the cinema. Fine, perfect. Keep the cinemas afloat. Yeah, I've watched many older movies in the cinemas. But don't do this bullshit where it's like, oh, but we will chop down a movie and brand new candy coming to your way if you give us your money, you know? And then like I don't want to do that. And also like no, like I will see Avengers Doomsday. It's fine. I don't need it. If there are people who need it, that's sad. And I don't like this specific re-release, and especially when it's like, well, James Cameron wakes up, hey, I want Avatar to be the number one, so I'll release Avatar again, but this time with even more footage. Fuck you. And it's just like there needs to
Well,
be
I
a
don't think James Cameron's going to release it with new stuff. He's just going to be like, "You love my movie enough, you'll go see it."
and
So, is your rant against the fact that they're too new of films, or is it adding the extra?
adding the extra stuff. The new films like don't bother me. And again, if you want to re-release it, fine, but don't add anything to it. Don't be like, oh yeah, this time only for Avengers Doomsday, there's gonna be a version of Avengers Endgame that has like Doomsday scenes that will probably be fucking out of place. Or if they're not, well, they're not gonna be in a movie. They're gonna be
Well, did you go
after.
see? Because like I know the third time I went to see Endgame in theaters was because it was a $5 Tuesday, and
Mhm.
they added it with some deleted scenes,
No, I have not. No, I know of this, but I
and it
know.
was not worth it.
See, and that's
It
my
was it
point.
was an unfinished Hulk scene.
Yeah.
And unless the idea is that they finished it, the special effects and are releasing it, because here's the thing: if people want to go watch Endgame in a theater again and experience that before seeing Doomsday, great.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like I don't like if they want to throw extra scenes or whatever, just put them at the end so I could leave when the movie's over and not have to deal with your nonsense.
Hmm. Like I think that ultimately would be that thing. Yeah, but what I'm against is like it's becoming almost a selling point. Hey, you remember the movie you really liked? Now you're re-releasing it, but with extra scenes. We cut for time, or we cut for whatever reason, but now we are proud of them. We're not proud of them. We just want to make more money. It's like,
Well, are you against them releasing the Lord of the Rings extended editions?
well, I still haven't rewatched Lord of the Rings, so my opinion on those movies is not great. But I know not because I know over the years there is a very vocal group that loves to have a Lord of the Rings marathon because it's like 12 hours, if I'm not mistaken, altogether.
Well, the extended edition is close.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
for all, like I mean, all the movies together, not the one movie, but like if you watch
Well, no,
like all three.
it's 330,
Hmm.
340,
Yep, yep.
and 410.
Yeah. So like, and I know many people that's their comfort movies. Like they do like oh yeah, my entire Sunday will be spent with Lord of the Rings extended edition trailer. But correct me if I'm wrong, that extended editions, those scenes are actually finished. Those scenes are actually like there is a CGI is there, like the costumes are up to
Yes.
par, like everything is up to par, correct?
Yes. For the
So
most part, yes.
so, therefore, it's an actual full movie, even though Peter Jackson apparently is on the record saying you don't have to watch the extended editions. This is not my director's cut. Apparent because like last time
Yeah,
I mentioned
there's
this,
reasons why they cut.
yes,
uh, there's a lot of comic relief in the extended editions that I'm not a fan of, but
because
but
last
I
time,
guess
oh sorry,
like the end game situation that was BS because it was an unfinished scene.
yeah,
But like, there's a lot of movies with deleted scenes that I'm sure people would go back into a theater and want to see.
like deleted, like look, deleted scenes I'm less opposed again, like against
Well,
those.
isn't that literally what is happening with Endgame?
No, because there's gonna be new footage of Avengers Doomsday.
Oh,
Yeah,
they're teasing with
yeah, yeah, yeah. They are re-releasing Avengers Endgame. I don't know when, sometime this year, probably closer to the actual
I
release
think it's
date
like
of
September
yes.
or October.
But to get your butt in a cinemas, hey guys, you're gonna get some sneak peek for Avengers Doomsday, probably at the end of the movie, after the movie's over. And I'm like, I don't know, like maybe I'm becoming a bit
Oh,
bitter
isn't
about
that
this.
like I feel like that's most after the credit scenes anyway.
Yes,
And
but
some
it's
of them are
not.
literally scenes from the
Yeah,
next movie.
but it's like I feel like yes, but this is like such a shameless again, not even a cash grab. It's like a
Well, of course
hey,
it is shameless. So,
and also oh yeah, we want to be number one movie again, and it's like mm,
well, to be fair, they're not.
yeah,
Like Avatar's like $120 million. I know, yeah, $120 million ahead to
hmm,
worldwide. It's just like
yeah,
I don't think they're gonna get $120 million.
yeah,
So, I hey, Marvel fans, like I'm a Marvel fan, but like
me
I don't have
too.
enough time to go and like rewatch Endgame in a theater with all
Hmm.
that nonsense. And I also don't want to see footage. See, I don't want to see a sneak peek of footage. I just want to watch the movie in context. So like
That's
that kind of stuff doesn't speak to me,
that's my
but
broader
it
point.
speaks to
Yes,
other people.
yes, yes. I understand,
So
and that's my broader point. Like I don't need the extra stuff if I wanted to rewatch a movie. Just if you want to
yeah,
re-release it, okay, give me just the movie. Don't any fuckery with that movie, and look, just give it to me straight. Give it to me straight, doctor. Okay, I can handle it. It's fine. And
Kevin Feige's like, no, and he's trying to
yes,
shovel it
yes,
in.
yes. No, but you're excited for Doomsday, right? You're excited. We spent 100 million on the Robert Downey Jr. alone, even though we had to fire a VFX department now. And I'm like, That's another fucking
I'm at the
thing.
point where I don't even know if I want to see a trailer for Doomsday at this point. Because I'm afraid of what they're gonna give away. And to be fair, I don't need any convincing to see
Mm,
it. I know there's a lot of people who do though.
yes,
So I
yes.
think they're really trying to push that, but
But anyway,
I
I
get
we
it.
can close.
I don't need it.
No,
I
we
don't need
can.
it either.
And I also like I understand not everybody's like me. Many people love this shit, and if they want to rewatch their movie they love and get some extra scenes or like new material at the end for an upcoming movie they will see in 3 months, I'm not gonna shit all over them. It's fine. Go watch your stuff. I just don't want this to be this like a new standard where it's like, hey, we have a movie, and 2 years later, hey, we're releasing this movie, but with some deleted scenes because you guys seem to love this movie, so you will eat this shit up, and it rubs me the wrong way. Like I don't, I understand cinemas needs to stay open, and that's why I'm not against re-releasing older movies. But just give it to me straight. Give it to me. Hey, that movie you watched back in 2019, just give me that movie. Cool. Anyway,
Yeah.
Shane, what is your pop culture news?
So they made some changes to the Academy Awards.
Oh, yes.
One of them is now actors are allowed to be nominated for different roles
Mm-hmm.
in the same category.
Mm-hmm.
And their hope is that this is going to cut down on category fraud.
Yep.
Um, it's great. And to be honest, I don't know why they restricted in the first place. If somebody did two amazing lead performances this year and deserves to get two separate nominations, just give it. The one that I care more about is the international film
Mm-hmm.
one, though. Apparently, if you're the winner of one of six
Yeah, six.
specific festivals, you don't need a country to submit you.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, my personal humble opinion is they should just, do away with the one film limit to begin with. But I know why they do that is to try to level the playing field because, there'd probably be like how many French films and Japanese films and Korean films that would come out that would get attention. But, to me, whatever's going to make it easier for, the best films to get attention, I'm happy.
Oh,
And we just need the Academy to,
mm-hmm.
actually pay attention to the best films like no other choice.
Yes. I would say like a bit of a counter. Like I'm happy about these. Like I'm 100% happy that
Yep.
they've done this. The only counter argument to that point you just made, as much as I would love for that to happen, I feel like this would just give many more Oscar judges more excuse to skip more movies. Because like they are like they are people, so I understand like there's an insane amount of movies they need to watch already. If you actually want to be proper, responsible Oscar voting person, there's a shit ton of movies that are submitted for you. So I cannot imagine even if they were so like if every country that can submit movies even expands it to five, suddenly have what extra like 1,000 movies to watch. I like basically you would have to make those professionals and these are actors, these are makeup artists, these are cameramen, like they would have to give up their day jobs and effectively then do
Well,
what we
who
hate.
votes on the internet? That's the thing. Who?
Mhm.
So the country at the moment, the countries decide what they're submitting.
Yes.
Who makes the short list?
I think it's the academy. I think it's the
Well, no,
actual
but whom
like
in the
which
academy?
branch? I always thought because it's the best international film, it's always everybody because everybody votes. If you're in the academy, right? You vote for the best picture. Everybody's voting for the best picture, right? So I always presumed it follows the same logic. So like, hey, we have down the last 20 movies. Make sure you watch these. Now we vote. You have a deadline by which you need to watch these. Then they always go down to like 10. Now you have a deadline to decide which out of those 10 which five will make it. I always
The
thought it's
International Feature Short List of
hmm,
15 movies is selected by the International Feature Film Preliminary Committee,
preliminary committee. Who is part of that
composed
committee?
of invited Academy members from all branches
Yes.
who
So
opt in.
so you can opt out. So So everybody's invited. So I was right. Everybody's invited, but you can opt out. You need to actually opt in if you want to judge international features. Interesting. Huh.
So they specifically they invite specific Academy members from all
Hmm.
branches,
Hmm.
and you have to opt in and say yes and meet their viewing requirements.
Ah.
So I don't feel so bad
Hmm.
about making a select group of people
Yeah,
watch that many movies, but your point is taken because that's a lot of movies.
it
But
is.
for now, the rule change would only potentially increase it by six,
Well,
right?
only by six. How many countries are in the world? Like how many
No, I
countries
mean, no,
submit?
no, no,
Oh,
no, six movies.
well, the rule that change is there are six festivals, the prestige press
Yeah,
festivals. They don't have to submit anything, right? And then on top of that, the any country. So let's say something from Spain wins Cannes Festival, Film Festival. So Spain doesn't have to nominate that winner, but they can nominate one more. That's my understanding to that rule, right? Like there's six prestige movie festivals, and each winner doesn't have to be submitted by their countries because they won
correct.
the festival. So I'm right. So yeah, that increases. Oh yeah. Oh, and I see a point now. Yes.
Yeah,
So it
they only had
increases
to
only
what
by
they
six.
up to only
Yes.
six extra,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
which I don't think that's that big of a deal
No. 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 That's
that
not.
people can watch six extra movies when
No.
their
No. No.
job is to literally make movies.
No. 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 That's
Uh,
not. That's not. No. 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 Like I was more picking on your point how it'd be great like if each country could
yeah,
submit let's say like five. But that is
but that would be a
insane
lot.
math. That's insane math to do. Like how many
We
countries?
appreciate the sacrifice of the preliminary committee.
I know. Look, if I could be
Sign
part
me
of
up, I'll do it.
like if I could be part of Academy, like I don't even have to win anything. If I could be a part of Academy, I'll fucking do it. Yes, I would be so hyped. Like that would be one of my like dreams and goals.
Which I think the other layer to the festival thing that I hope sticks is that European countries stop taking up their spots
Hmm.
with mostly Middle Eastern films that their own countries won't submit.
Well, that's the other reason, yes. Like they
Yeah.
literally made it because of the it was just an accident. One of the
Which
movies
I
quoted,
find such horseshit
yes.
that France, that was the representative of France. What about all the French films
Hmm.
that could have been actually? And the issue is because that's the thing. I don't like the rule that the country
Hmm.
gets to submit those films
Yes,
because then it opens the door to countries like Iran who will, not actually choose people who make these films and stuff like that.
correct.
But to be fair, I don't have a better solution at the
Well,
moment.
and that's the
So,
thing. Like you can make any system, but like what's the problem with any system? People. If you make
people,
any
true.
system, people will make a people give it 5 minutes. There will be people who already figure out a way how to fuck the system, how to get around the system, how to profit over the system. Like problem with any system is the people in it.
Mhm.
It's just yeah, it's the same. But no, like I'm yeah, no, like those changes, like I think like Academy has actually hit them on a nail. Like all of the changes I read about yesterday, because it was only released yesterday, I was like, damn, I actually agree with pretty much everything here. I don't think that they made a bad decision, at least in these changes. I don't think,
Yeah.
because like
Well,
again, like it opens up those big winners. It'd be awkward. It will be awkward when like if every movie like if one movie wins like three of them, because that could happen.
yeah, it could.
That could happen.
So those are the two big things, but also
Yeah.
AI.
Oh yes.
Acting award requires performances to be demonstrably performed by humans
Hmm.
with their consent, effectively banning purely synthetic or AI generated performances.
Correct. Because of
Uh,
the Wall Kilmer movie that's coming out later this year, and apparently his daughter is on a record saying, "Oh, that's just what he would have wanted." Press X to doubt. I don't know.
and then it looks like there's a few other things like casting the maximum number of statuettes increased from two to three. So you could have up to three people
Ah.
be awarded the
Okay. Okay. Okay.
casting.
I was
S-
confused a bit. I was like,
yeah,
what?
cinematography, the preliminary voting round will produce a fixed shortlist of 20 films.
Okay.
I guess that's up from 15, maybe.
Hmm.
Original song for songs playing over end credits, the submission must include the final 15 seconds of the film before the credits start.
So that would eliminate like Train Dreams, for example.
Wait a minute. If this is an actual rule change, that's a game-changing rule
That
change.
is because, but also like that eliminates
If this wait
some
a minute,
bangers
so
though.
that buries a they buried a lead by not like it's all been the AI acting international. Like
Yeah.
if that like if it legitimately has to start 15 seconds before the end credits begin, that's a game changing thing for this category.
But then is it? People will just be like, okay, let's make sure it has started exactly 15 minutes before because again, system. Like, oh, this is a rule.
Well,
So
no,
like,
I mean like well, if you think retroactively, how many nominees would have been disqualified?
no, 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 I know. But what I'm saying is
So,
they will
but is
not
a
be
game it is a game changing thing, Luke, because they have to change how they act.
correct, but they will not be disqualified because they will just like, I cannot wait for the end of the movie. There'll be some filler. And like, oh yeah, and through this filler, last 15 seconds, let's start the song. Diane Warren, baby, let's go. Because again, problem with any system like that, it's a good idea. I understand the point. People just okay, instead of like keeping it nice and what we try to say, no, 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 we want this in the song, potentially in the
I
running.
I hope that people filmmakers and studios don't harm their films by making BS like this. But,
I
you know,
I hope to, but I know people in Hollywood, or no, 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 I've seen the trends of people in Hollywood. So I am not as optimistic about this as you. Like it is a game changer for sure. But then when you think about it for a minute, it's like, is it? They will just. I think that we will see from now on. We will see some endings a bit butchered because hey, this song is starting. That kind of doesn't fit, does it? Oh, that's why. So from now on, if I hear it, I'm like, oh, I know what they're doing. Sneaky bastards.
so then a couple of voting campaign things. So makeup and hairstyling, branch members must attend at least one or two final branch roundtables to vote in the preliminary rounds. So they are required to sit through, I guess, formal campaigning things.
I don't
Um,
like that because
Visual
like
effects members must watch 3 minute before and after reels to vote in the final round.
I like that one, but can we go back to the
Yeah.
first one? Because correct me if I'm wrong, like doesn't it kind of presume most makeup and hairstyling people are from like, LA and the area? I'm not even talking if somebody lives in New York and needs to travel there. I'm talking if somebody fucking lives in a different country altogether. Their vote is disqualified because they cannot afford to fucking fly to America.
Well, it doesn't say in person.
I thought it said in person. They need to be there in person.
Must attend
No, must.
at least one or two final branch roundtables.
Oh, must. Ah, see, for me, must attend means in person. If they, okay,
It,
if
well, if there's
somebody,
Zoom meetings,
yes, yes,
then but that also does make challenges if your country and you're in the middle of the night.
yes. But it's more
So
manageable. But that is more manageable for one night than, oh fuck,
yeah,
I don't have a fucking money because I'm a makeup artist. I don't make shit ton of money. I don't think most of them are millionaires by any means. So that's what I didn't want it for somebody to be
yeah.
disqualified just because, oh, I live in a bumfuck nowhere. Like I cannot fucking fly there. What?
And then screenings with the Q&A sessions may now feature up to two moderators instead of one.
Okay. Important rule. Very, that's glad he left it up until the end. This groundbreaking rule.
I know save the best for last. But no, so those are the things I wanted to bring up. Luke, what do you have pop culture related?
So I'm just gonna briefly mention the new Resident Evil trailer that just dropped from Zach Kreger.
Yep.
That guy seems to be on a bit of a roll.
Mhm.
And I love the fact that he actually is going back to the original games, it seems like, rather than the movie series starring Mila Jovovich. And the first trailer got me mildly optimistic. about the tone of the movie and that we haven't seen much. And we might, in my lifetime, we might actually see a banger of a Resident Evil movie. Which, coming from me, who has a very soft spot for quite a few of those in that franchise, saying something. So yeah, Zach Kreger seems to be having a moment. I still don't know whether we need Anne Gladys prequel. As much as I love her performance, as much as I have enjoyed Weapons,
Well,
I
he's not directing that one, so
that's also what makes me question it. So, not every villain needs a prequel. Not everything needs to be explored to death. Can we not just have one great performance and let it go?
nope.
Yeah,
Apparently
money.
not, Luke.
I know. Yeah.
Um, I did not watch the trailer because I try to really not watch trailers
Mm-hmm.
unless it's in the theater,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm seeing Hokum today. So
Nice.
maybe they'll have the Resident Evil trailer in front since it's horror.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm very excited about it. I've never played the Resident Evil games because I'm a baby. But my brother is a huge Resident Evil fan, and I've listened to Zach Krieger talk about the his approach to this, and it sounds like he sounds like a humongous fan of the games. So
Mm-hmm.
like he obviously understands the games, and he wants it to feel like the games
Mm-hmm.
than trying to replicate the games because
Perfect.
obviously it's not based off of it takes place during
Yes.
the outbreak in Raccoon
Yes.
City, but it's from Austin Abrams' character's perspective, and you actually have to find ammo,
Mm-hmm.
and it's scarce,
Mm-hmm.
which makes it scarier, and you're not just like a bunch of military people like,
And as
through
we
and
learned,
shooting zombies and stuff.
that's the approach for movies. If you want to actually replicate the game, do a TV show like The Last of Us, which is very close to the game, even though they
Yep,
still do some detours where it's like, oh, the game
yep.
is actually different here, here, and here. But for movies, that's a perfect because again, games are different medium. You set it in a universe, and as long as you understand the universe and the rules of that universe, we don't need to see beats by beats. Oh, hey, this is this location, cool, but the movie is shit. Okay? This is this theme song, but everything else around it is fucking awful.
Or
Because,
the Paul W.S. Anderson versions of Resident Evil where it's just like we're going in a crazy other direction
which
with a lot
again,
of it.
for the first three or four, I have a soft spot, and I genuinely think they are much better than many people give them credit for, except for the fact, yes, the games are totally different. But you can argue that's a good idea, though. What he did with them, is it a video game realistic idea? Meaning, is it the same as the video games? Not much. There's zombies. There's Alice. There's some characters you might recognize. Cool. The series itself is totally different from the video games, but he was kind of ahead of a curve. If the movies were if he was, I don't want to be mean. If he was maybe a bit more talented, there we would have been better. I think he did.
Which he's not the strongest director. He has a long track record of not making great movies, but
I
he
think
seems to really like adapting video games.
I think he's a I would call him a solid director. I wouldn't call him bad. I would call him as his event. I need to rewatch this, but his Event Horizon movie is actually great. But I only watched it once, so I haven't rewatched it in probably 20 years. Like his Mortal Kombat. That movie is a
So much fun.
blast. And again,
So much fun.
I have soft spot and I'll argue the third Resident Evil movie in the desert. I think it's called, I cannot remember, but the one in the desert with Mila. That's actually great horror and great action. That third movie is that has no right to be that good. I would put my head in if I'm battling anybody about this franchise, I understand why people would hate one and two. The third one though, it has this Mad Max feeling because of the desert setting. Like it. I really like it. Anyway, but yeah, that's so that
I'm
this
excited for
trailer,
Resident Evil.
same.
So
And Zach Rager seems to have a moment, and I'm here for it because we need more weird dudes having a moment.
he is one of the whitest kids you know.
Sure is. Sure is. And I know myself, so that's saying something.
Yeah.
But I think with that we can jump to our big topic today. So
Yeah.
as Shane said, these are people who we believe deserve to make a Hollywood comeback. And before we actually get into it, Shane, what were your criteria? Because I have my specific set of rules, but I'll let you go first.
I would say all of the actors or filmmakers that I picked are ones that have either just completely stopped
Hmm.
or haven't been in anything substantive
Hmm.
in a long time.
Yeah.
Because like I would have loved to put Aaron Eckhart on here, but
Hmm.
literally he's in a wide released movie that just came out the weekend we're
Yes.
recording this.
Yes.
Like I want him to have a better career. Like I'd rather him be in better roles than the lead in Deep Water from Rennie Harlan. Like I didn't put Aaron Eckhart on here because like he is still like in leading roles and stuff like that.
Correct.
Career choice is a different thing. Them just like disappearing, I wanted to lean more on that, or they just stopped.
Hmm.
So
So my rule was they had to be like a proper big name at least once before. So that
okay,
makes
yep,
the comeback
yep.
part. Like so I'm not gonna like I had a bunch of names. I'm like, oh yeah, this guy or this woman, they don't appear as much, but they were never like a A-lister. So that was the first part for me at least. And the second one, if like what do you say, but even for people who I know have projects lined up that are big, like so for example my big one, well that's not going to be on my list, it might be on yours. I'm not, it's your list, so like I'm not dictating, like Rick Moranis. I know he's going to be coming back. He is not on my list because whatever, because I
Yeah, I
know.
did because he has Spaceballs 2 coming out.
Yes,
So
so
like
like even though if you
I didn't
haven't
really
seen it,
think of him
yeah.
because of that.
And like, and many others, like, I always check, do they have anything substantial coming out, even like next year? And even if they are linked with something like that, my list does not comprise of many people, many others would, Also, it is quite sad before we start. I Googled quite a few of these lists and went through quite a few of the lists. And when you go through lists from like 2020, many people on those lists are dead now. It's like, who we would like to have a comeback? Val Kilmer. Ooh,
Hmm.
yeah. There was like another. Yeah, Michelle Trachtenberg. Oh shit.
Hmm.
And it's like that's kind of sad because people were thinking about them, and then 2026 now is like,
There's a reason why they haven't been in things.
yeah, but like obviously in that time they were alive, like
Yeah.
2020. But like I'm like, oh. And quite a few had a Brendan Fraser before he came back with a whale, killing a sort of
Which
Cloverflower Moon,
like
like
I would love to see some more actors getting their Brendan Fraser moments.
100%,
Then
100%. So who
so
is your first pick?
so my first one is Michael Bean. I know
Nice.
he hosts a podcast that Adam absolutely loves,
Yes.
and keeps trying to get me to watch. Like the most recent thing I saw him, he had that nice special guest performance in Mandalorian
Hmm.
because he was in that one episode where they introduced Ahsoka into the show. But like Michael Bean hasn't been in any like he was so hot. Like Inferno hot from the late 80s, mid 80s into the early 90s with Terminator, Aliens, Tombstone, and all of those types of films. And then he just like disappeared.
Yep.
And I think that he could easily make a comeback as a grizzled, like, I think he could get into like a Stephen Lang base where, like, if he could have an avatar where he's like a ruthless, gritty, like military antagonist, like, I could see that really bolstering Michael Bean's career.
I was gonna say, so you just want him to be, a next bad guy in Avatar. I get it. Get it. He would nail
He
it.
could.
Oh, like he would
See,
nail it.
oh, and he already knows James Cameron, obviously. So, like, James Cameron, what are you doing? Why aren't you bringing Michael Bean back? So
Maybe there's a beef
there could be. I should probably listen to Michael Bean's podcast to find out if there is.
because
But no,
James
it's
Cameron, has a reputation, especially if you go back to 80s and 90s,
yeah,
of talk to the entire cast of The Abyss and entire
yeah,
production team of The
the
Abyss.
whole entire
Yeah.
cast of The Abyss.
Yes.
No, I think Michael Bean would be really cool, and we're in and this is the sexism in the world that we live in. I think it's a lot easier for a middle-aged man to make it back into roles than it is for a middle-aged woman. And there's always going to be meaty, fun, middle-aged to aged male
Mm-hmm.
characters in movies.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that like I think he could easily have like, roles that he could have had. Like, I was happy to see Peter Weller pop up in Star Trek Into Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a role that I think Michael Biehn could do something with too. So like I could, and like obviously they're not going to reuse him in Star Wars. I think he could have had something cool
Mm-hmm.
in like Star Wars, and which he did. It was
Yeah.
just a one-off episode, and his character died.
Mm-hmm.
But like something like that. I love Michael Biehn though. I think he could easily, if he finds the right thing, be able to
Mm-hmm.
slip back in.
Yeah, Michael Biehn is cool. Like I've seen his name on quite a few lists. I researched, so I understand.
Mm,
So you've kind of touched on this, and I have mentioned this to you before the show
yeah.
started recording. I wasn't trying this, but like my list is all women, and I
Mm,
think it goes to the your point. It's much easier to be a middle-aged or even older guy and making some sort of comeback than,
yeah.
you know, hey, this woman is 40. What is this? We don't have movies about pensioners, and if we do, Helen Mirren is there, duh, you know,
Her Meryl Streep.
or
It's
Meryl,
just the
yes,
two of them.
yes. So like we already have those two pensioner like 40. What? No, don't even start on 50. Honestly, like Dracula, like Hollywood is fucking awful. But so my first choice. I'm not saying she's ever been like a greatest of actress, but I think she had something there. Ali Larter. Like she had a moment in 2000s, like with Final Destination movies,
Oh,
with
to be fair, she is in the middle of a comeback.
well, on a TV show. I know
Yeah,
apparently she's on a Landman I don't watch,
yeah,
but we're talking Hollywood, right? So I know, like, and that's kind of
yeah.
my
She's a
point.
shining light for MAGA.
Is she?
Well, people just automatically assume any
Mm,
Taylor Sheridan show is MAGA, so then MAGA people love them.
poor Taylor Sheridan. I don't think he's mega, but I haven't actually heard anything about
I
him.
don't think he is, but
But yeah, he makes shows for people who
oh,
support
he
a
sure
certain
does.
who
He
support
makes
certain
shows for my dad and stepmom
who
because they watch all of them.
yes. But no, like so, like, and I think this is like she is the perfect example of what we're talking about. She had a moment in like late 90s, early 2000s. She even was in quite a few Resident Evil movies. And then, but because of like Hollywood not knowing what to do with her past certain age, it seems like she transformed into like the TV show actor. So she was big on Heroes. Like, if we're talking Heroes, the season one of that show is phenomenal. If it stopped at season one, it's like maybe the best show ever. Unfortunately, we have the other seasons to deal with. And like now, I looking at her, filmography. Like, yeah, she seems to be big on Landman, and only thing that she has upcoming is more Landman. So I'm like, I
There you go.
always, I always thought there's some sort of spark about her. Like I'm not saying if she were to return, she would have won an Oscar. No, but I always enjoyed her presence. I thought she's charming. I thought she was capable. So I would like to see her in more big budget Hollywood movies because I think there's worse. There's you know you can do much worse.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, she still like ages very fine. So.
Well, yeah, I haven't gotten around to Landman yet, but I do
Mhm,
usually watch all of
mhm,
Taylor Sheridan shows.
mhm,
So I don't know how she's doing. She seems to be pretty popular
mhm,
in the show and a pretty big standout. So interested to see
mhm.
what you could do. I want to watch Landman first to see like what she's bringing to the table first before I get excited about seeing her in something, I guess. But
Okay.
my next one is Madeline Stowe,
Mm.
who was in 12 Monkeys and Last of the Mohicans. And right now, speaking of television, the only credit she's had in the past 10 years, she made a cameo in one episode of the 12 Monkeys series in 2016.
Okay.
She was in the show soundtrack from 2019, and then it looks like I didn't even realize she was in this. Welcome to Derry. She
Oh.
was in that, and that's the only thing she's done in the past 6 years. So I feel like that would be something where, and I'm trying to see the last movie she starred in was film called Southern Comfort from 2006.
Damn.
So it's literally been 20 years. She
Hmm.
was great
Hmm.
in 12 Monkeys.
Yeah.
And I think there's not a lot of space for a whole lot of middle-aged women to really be making a big splash in movies. And I think she kind of got pushed out
Hmm.
along the way. But I would like to see her up in some stuff. She's really talented. And from those, I think the last really high profile movie she was in was We Were Soldiers. And obviously she's not like a big
Hmm.
part because she's not one of the soldiers. And that was 2002. But like she had such a great run in the 90s, and it would be cool to see her come back for sure.
So when you say the name Madeline Stove, the movie that pops into my head instantly, and it's because it was at one time one of my sister's favorite movies, is Bad Girls, the cowboy movie with her, Drew Barrymore, Mary Stuart Masterson, Andy McDowell. Like that's those four girls are.
I'm looking at the poster right now.
It's genuine. Like, look, it has 5.2 on IMDb, right? It's
Yeah.
not the best of movies, if I remember correctly, but it is so much fun. Like, it's one of those,
I'd
hey,
like to see
girls,
that a movie like that exists,
yeah,
to be perfectly honest.
it's genuinely like the pitch for that movie must have been, hey, girls can be cowboys too, right? As long as they're hot,
Hey,
boss.
young guns, but ladies.
Exactly. As long as they're a hot boss. Okay, give me in a 90, was it 94, this movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, so give me
But yeah.
who is very hot right now, very young and hot. These four. Okay, great, signed. We're start shooting two more balls.
There we go.
That's basically how that pitch went. That movie is a bit sexy, but it's mostly like, hey, they are actually like badasses. They are kicking ass, and
Mm,
I haven't seen it in a while, but I remember like it was actually enjoyable. Like it wasn't bad, but those girls were bad. Like yeah.
bad.
So
What's your next
my
one, Luke?
next one is I think my biggest cheat because but she's also the biggest example of she used to be an example of A plus star. She was the first woman ever, if I'm not mistaken, to get paid over 20 million for a movie. Cameron Diaz. She used to be A plus. Like, if starting from like in the late 90s until like 2010s, Cameron Diaz is like, Hollywood royalty or was Hollywood. And then she disappeared. Reason it's cheat. Like she kind of is coming back. It seems like she
Yep.
has five movies in upcoming. Some of them are
Well,
on
because track 5.
Shrek 5, but
So
also like
yeah,
some of them are only like rumored. So hey, and I know she made that middle of the road back in action movie for Netflix. There's another
yeah.
movie
That
I
is
haven't.
such an aggressively Netflix action movie.
Yeah,
Uh,
another
and
movie
then she was Keanu
Outcome.
Reeves's BFF in Outcome.
I haven't even heard about that movie. Is that? Oh, it's
It
Apple
dropped on
TV.
Apple TV Plus. Yeah.
Directed by Jonah Hill.
And he is aggressively annoying, and I hated him in that movie so much that made me want to turn the movie off bad. But Cameron Diaz was actually pretty good with what
Yes.
she had to work with. And I think that's one of the challenges is that and you all can't see my air quotes here, but
Mm.
I'm literally trying to make a point. I don't know if she has the deep depth of acting chops to overcome that she's not that hot anymore to
Yes.
Hollywood.
Like she is one of
Um,
those prime examples of like she was too hot. She came on a scene to like with a mask in 1990, and if you're a man of certain age, you remember her in that red dress. And all I'm gonna say, she's the ultimate example of what you mentioned before, Shane. Once actresses in Hollywood reach certain age and they are not longer quote unquote at their peak, people are like, I don't know what to do with Cameron Diaz. So I think like she's never. I don't genuinely think I don't think we've ever seen her full potential because she got cast in the roles with like, hey, she's a sexy girlfriend. Hey, she's the sexy this. Hey, she's the sexy this. But the word sexy always had to be kind of there. It was only later
sex
when,
tape.
yeah, it was only later in her where she started to do more dramas. I think she has something about there is something about Mary. There is something about Cameron too. So like I would love for her to come back like proper like hey new movie with Cameron Diaz opening, and it's not Shrek 5. I know it's gonna be obviously big if
Well,
it
that's the thing.
ever
It's
gets
like
released.
out of the three main actors of Shrek 5, how many of them have a career that's like lighting up the like Eddie Murphy is
Hmm.
coming back
Yes, slowly.
more slowly. What the hell's Mike Myers been doing besides making cameo appearances in music biopics?
Hmm. Hmm.
And so that's the thing. Like Shrek 5, like I think the voice cast of Shrek 5 is really important to the success of Shrek 5,
Yep.
but it's Shrek 5 is selling Shrek 5, not the cast.
And you can argue, I'm sure, like you can argue at the when Shrek 1 released, like Eddie Murphy wasn't as big of a name at the time, and he had like he already had some misses on his hands, and Mike Myers had Austin Powers. So
Well,
like, but yeah,
to be fair, the Nutty Professor and Doctor Dolittle made a crap ton of money,
no, no, no,
um,
but that's
but
the
they
same
weren't
year
very
as
good.
Pluto Nash, isn't it?
Did
One
that
of
come out
the,
in 2001?
I think it was 2000 or 2001.
I felt like that came out after that, and
Let
then
me
things went
check.
down fast.
Let me check because if you make one of the worst bombs of in or the advent, oh what,
It was the
2002,
year after. It was
2002, you're right.
2002.
I still haven't seen that movie, by the way. I only heard of the
Yeah.
reputation, but no,
I
like,
just feel like Shrek, the franchise, has been propping up some careers.
but
Um, but like that's the thing, because like they could come back and make a Shrek 5 and their careers still not really light back up again. That's
also,
just the thing it is. But no, I would like to see Cameron Diaz be able
mhm,
to
yes.
get some footing somewhere.
Also, does Shrek 5 actually exist? Because that movie was supposed to have come out, I don't know if you remember, Shane, 2024? That Shrek 5 movie was, I'm sure at the original pitch, original screenplay, whatever, didn't have Zendaya. That's how far along it is. Zendaya became such a big thing. It was like, oh yeah, the daughter character will be played by Zendaya now. Because like she is very hot right now. That Shrek 5 has
I'm pretty
been
sure it was supposed to come out like it was originally supposed to come out in 2026.
no Shrek 5. No, that's been postponed several times now. I guarantee you that because we had a date. I think it even like aligns not with the pandemic, but like closer around that time because it was announced during that time, right? But Shrek
It got
5,
announced after Puss in
mhm,
Boots: The Last Wish.
which is 2022, and it was announced for 2020. Let me look it up because like
Maybe 2025, but I don't think it got announced for 2024. But
let
this is
me
also
boom
not
announced
exactly
it.
the
Wait, so announced it on 2024 for 2025. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wait. So, okay. IMDb trivia on this is not helpful because I'm sure
no,
they already
I don't
missed
think
two
it got
dates.
delayed that much, but it has been delayed. And I think they realized how because they were gonna look, it was supposed to come out this December.
Mm-hmm.
It was gonna go head to head with Doomsday
Mm-hmm.
and Dune Part 3.
See,
So they noped out.
my autocomplete Google original release date was yeah no okay no so it was this is wrong no I remember see no the AI is trying to
So
fucking
like, it was supposed to come out. I know it had a release date of this December. And they're like, crap, we're not competing against that. Or it might have been June. And then Toy Story 5 they would have to compete with, and they punted.
you know what I think I might be confusing it but they've been teasing it for so long I think they've been teasing it for so long but yeah okay yeah I think I'm confused there okay fair that's my
But no,
confusion.
either way, I don't think Shrek 5 coming out is gonna like light Cameron Diaz's career up again. I think the thing is like it would be nice to which is I guess why I would count that this isn't
Hmm.
she's already making a big comeback.
Hmm.
So
She's making a comeback, but yeah,
yeah.
I it's gonna be a miles before she is like back to the she's allowed to be in a big boy stable.
So I have my next two are directors
Okay.
that I would like to come back. One is Steven Summers.
Hmm.
And so I just rewatched his Jungle Book. And honestly, That was actually a fun time from 1994. And then he made The Mummy, and The Mummy Returns, and Van Helsing. And Van Helsing's problem was not the direction.
No.
Uh, it was the script. Um, but it's so weird to me, which also like it took years before he directed another movie, which is G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra, which also that makes so much sense to me now that why Brendan Fraser and Arnold Vosloo pop up in that movie. Because I'm like, wait, the director of The Mummy made that G.I. Joe movie. And I've never seen Odd Thomas that came out in 2013.
Same.
But basically, Stephen Sommers had just been producing movies since, and like all the Scorpion King direct
Yep,
the
yep.
sequels. I think that he has a knack for having a wonderful sense of adventure that I feel like is lacking in movies today.
Hmm.
And I would love to see him come back and take a stab at something like that. And honestly, I've had so much fun with his movies in general. I think it would be a fun time seeing him come back and try to like I wouldn't have been upset if I found out that he was directing The Mummy 4. But I know it's Radio Silence, right? I think
I don't actually
got lined
know.
up with it.
I don't actually know who's
Um
directing Mummy 4, to be honest. I know it's in the works. I know now it's confirmed all the original actors are returning, including Jonathan. What's
yeah,
his
John Hannah.
Yeah, John Hannah, yes. Thank you.
Yep. So I think seeing a Steven Summers come back would be fun.
Hmm. It would be fun. Like, I am a fan of both, not just the first one. Both Mummy movies are awesome. They only are only two great movies. Shame they never made a third one. It's kind of weird they making a fourth one, but anyway. And when he thought, like, when he said, like, the movie the thing about adventure and how we're missing that, I immediately thought of, hey, this director, Summers, would have been great to direct this movie that already come out. Who directed that movie? Oh yeah, it was this guy. Imagine a world where, Steven Summers directs Uncharted.
I was thinking the same exact
See,
thing.
because that's such a swashbuckling, as close to the like a
I think that would have fit
swashbuckling
really well.
instead of Ruben Fleischer. Like, I think this dude has
Yeah.
been given so many opportunities where is it safe to say now he had a one great movie, Zombieland, and everything since then was fine?
Did he direct the second one? Because I really like
Yeah.
Double Tap a lot.
Double Tap was
I feel
good.
like Zombieland was his thing. I didn't need Venom or Uncharted.
Yes, he
And
directed a second one too. Yes.
so no, I think Steven Summers would have been great for something like Uncharted.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No,
That would have been a lot of fun.
100%. So I'm definitely on the same page as you. So my next pick, we will get a bit not sad. Like, so she's never gone away, and she is still kind of working, but not nowhere near big. And the reason I bring her name up is because she was never allowed to be as big, even though she became quite close. Ashley Judd. Ashley Judd, if
Hmm.
you talk 90s, you throw a stone at a movie, chances like you hit
She
Ashley
was
Judd's
in it.
face. Yeah, like you shouldn't do, because that woman has been through enough. To my understanding, she was one of the actresses who was blacklisted by Harvey Weinstein because
Yep,
she was fighting
100%.
back against him and against his advances, so he effectively banned her from Hollywood. So it's not like she's ever gone away, but I would love to live in an alternative universe where she never had that big, giant, creepy obstacle in her way, because I
Yeah.
genuinely think she could have been somebody like, I'm not saying Meryl Streep level, but like, like almost legendary level. Had she been allowed. So I hope, and I would like to see her make a comeback, because like you know, modern day Hollywood is about a story. What's your narrative, Shane? What is your story? She has the most amazing story, sad story, but the most amazing. And if she imagine her Oscar speech, imagine if she actually gets a chance. overcoming that, winning an Oscar. Imagine that fucking Oscar speech. That would have been one for the ages, and it would be such a cathartic moment. And she is a great actress. I've seen a bunch of her movies from the 90s. She was great. Like she was like always fun. She was always like the safety, like in a way. Like she was always like she made me feel safe. Like if I see Ashley Judd in a movie, I know I'm in it for a good time, right? And I would love for her to come back. Like she seems like, despite everything that's happened to her, she seems like she is quite switched on. She seems on a more positive note. So I really hope we get to see some of a proper comeback, like a Hollywood comeback for her because she would deserve it.
Between like I know her mostly from Heat and A
Mm-hmm.
Time to Kill,
Mm-hmm.
where she gets thankless jobs as wife of volatile husbands
Yep.
and stuff like that. And like I think she's a good actor, and obviously we could just make a whole list of women whose careers were ruined by Harvey Weinstein
Yep.
that deserve another shot, and she certainly does for sure.
100%.
Really messed up.
Mm-hmm.
What a piece of shit. Um, but my next one is Christopher Guest.
Hmm.
I would like to see his last movie was Mascots, which I actually have to watch still. That's on Netflix, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
I would love for him to come back and do a mockumentary comedy, and God, that would be the sad. I'm thinking about like bringing the getting like the gang back together. It's like there's no Catherine O'Hara,
Nope.
Fred Willard, and but like I it made me really happy seeing him in this is like Spinal Tap 2, The Legend Continues.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love his work with his mockumentaries, and that's the type of thing that you can find anything and do. Like I would even be fine if he does like a really low key, like you know, I I watched a couple of documentaries with Patrice about one about professional puzzle players
Mm-hmm.
and about people who breed fancy chickens. Like I would love something silly like that
That'd be
and
cool.
them to do yes, like I want to see him do a mockumentary about something like that. Make it low key. It doesn't need to be like the biggest thing because I think Christopher Guest is better off leaning into like that smaller kind of scale stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I would love to see him at least do one more. I was real tempted to put John Carpenter,
Oh,
but
but
but the last 10 years of his career were not great. And I'm like, I think it's probably the best that he just kind of stopped. So, but like Christopher Guest was still making fine movies.
mhm.
And I think it's just people lost interest. So I would like to see that for sure.
Yeah. No, Christopher Guest is a great shout. I still need to see many of his classics. I need to get on that. But yeah, John Carpenter, to your point about John Carpenter, from a few interviews I've seen of his recently, like in the last couple of years, he seems to be a bit more miserable than normal. So I'm like, maybe it's a good thing he's not
He's an old
directing.
man, but
He's
like
a,
he's living
like,
his best life. He's just sitting there playing video games,
yes,
occasionally making a score, and just living his best life. And I'm like, you
I'm
go, guy.
happy. That's the thing. I'm
Yeah.
happy about that because, like, like from the interviews I've seen of his talking about like some newer movies, like he turned into a genuinely old man yells at clouds, like, and I'm like,
Oh, he certainly has his moments.
yeah, 100%. So my next one is my youngest actress on this list. So I think she is hopefully at some point making a comeback, and there is a different wrinkle to this. So not only Hollywood doesn't know what to do with women after age of 40, let's say. If you're a different race than white, they have an issue. Doesn't matter. Like it doesn't like what is this? And so she was poised to maybe become like a premium leading lady, but it seems like Hollywood doesn't know where to put her. So like she's been struggling. But I'm talking about Gemma Chan. I thought like from she had a she was I to me she is a standout to Crazy Rich Asians. Her storyline with the husband, I thought it was great.
Mm.
She was in movies like Fantastic Beasts and would find the first one. She was in the Transformers movies. I'm not saying she put out memorable performances in those movies. However, she was in big franchises. Then she did Captain Marvel, Raya and the Last Dragon, Eternals. I think Don't Worry Darling was supposed to be her kind of big break, and because that movie is interesting, shall we the behind the scenes of that movie is much more interesting than the actual movie. I want to see
Yep.
fucking documentary about everybody being toxic on that set because because everybody had a bad
Yep.
experience. And like she's never fully gone away, but if you look at her upcoming project, it's a TV series and Crazy Rich Asians spin-off. That's it. And I every time I see Jenna Chan in something, I'm like, first, A, she's stunning. B, she's actually good actress. She is actually
Mhm.
there is so much potential that just untapped. Because she's usually like supporting friend, supporting hot Asian lady number one. And I'm like, this is such a waste. This is such a waste. And I like her like when I rewatched Crazy Rich Asians like a year ago, her character struck me. I was like, how did she not have a much bigger career after this movie? Like I
Well, she was supposed to. I think Eternals was supposed to be
that
like,
that's the obvious yeah like Eternals like she was leading that movie, and I guess like
and nobody benefited
the
from
way
that movie.
Hollywood works is, oh, this leading lady. I guess nobody wants, diversity. So back to your indies you go, and that's such a shame because I
And
think,
Richard Madden's gonna be fine.
yeah,
And
kind of,
obviously, Kid Harrington is
hmm
fine. And like
like
Gemma
many,
Chan, no.
yeah,
Harry Keoghan's fine.
yeah. Oh, Barry Keoghan, like he's like, I was in Eternals. We didn't talk about that. It's fine.
Yeah.
But no, like so, like to me, like especially when I rewatch Crazy Rich Asians, I'm like, damn. There is so much like sadness with her character, and she plays it so well and so subtly. Where it's like, you know, like to me, she steals the show from Michelle Yeoh, from the other one I cannot remember now. Constance, was it Constance Wu? Who's the main leading lady in Crazy Rich Asians?
It is Constance Wu.
Okay, I'm not being
And
racist.
Henry Golding,
Well, Henry
of
Golding is a
course.
piece of fucking like that man is like, damn, he's hot. I'm
Yeah.
like every time Henry Golding is on a screen and we are watching a movie with my wife, I don't have a wife. I'll tell you that. Like she's like, oh my god, hello Henry. I'm like, yeah, yeah, I get it. But I fine. Look, I get it. Yeah. No, so Gemma Chan, like, she's never like you can argue she was never like a lister. Yeah,
She did headline a Marvel movie.
she did, yes.
So
But like no, and like I really hope somebody will give her a meaty leading lady role. She'll win all the fucking awards for, and she'll put herself on a map because like Jesus Christ, Hollywood surely doesn't know what to do with her because it feels like such a wasted potential.
it's a shame.
Hmm.
My last one is Feruza Ball.
She was on quite a few lists I researched too. Yes, nice.
So one, we just recorded our episode to talk about Wizard of Oz,
Hmm.
and she's Dorothy in Return to Oz.
She sure is.
And I know her as Nikki Vadencourt, from The Water Boy. And I've never actually watched The Craft, but I know she was big
She was.
because of The Craft. And just rewatching American History X, talking about that with Adam, she was in that. And just this is really sad because she's one of those people that people are like, well, she tragically died. I'm like, no, she didn't.
She's
Nope,
alive.
she's still around.
Yep.
And she's one of those people that had that horrible rumor that like they died at some point. It's like, no, they're still going.
Yep.
And I know I didn't watch the original Craft, but I watched that trash legacy sequel that came out, and she popped up in it.
Hmm.
She just she has a very specific, very raw energy and intensity about her,
Hmm.
and she's very unique as an actor. And it's a shame that Hollywood didn't know how to translate that when she became an adult.
Hmm.
And like obviously I don't know why her career didn't launch off when she got into adulthood, like late into her 20s and stuff, but Hollywood's fickle.
I don't.
And
Wasn't she also kind of blacklisted by Harvey? I want to
I don't
say like I've seen her name on that list of like the actresses who turned him down and made him mad. But I don't want to like I don't know
if
like
that is the case, it continues the pattern of this
yeah
is why we can't have nice things.
Hmm. Like again,
But no,
I
I think she's great, and
no,
I would
yeah.
love to see her pop up in some stuff.
I think she is so uniquely looking person, like a uniquely like she has a beauty about her. Okay, she is a beautiful person because when you say, "Oh, they are uniquely looking person," usually it doesn't mean anything good. I've been told
She has
like
a
that.
unique energy. Like she has a vibe that's
No, yes,
very different.
and as a person who's seen the original craft, like yeah, like she was the it goth girl of that era. Like if you wanted,
Yep.
if your movie had a bit of a witch dynamic, you call her. If if you wanted like a bit of mysterious but also a bit sexy, you call her. Like she was that kind of girl, especially in the 90s, 100%. So my last one, it was a toss up between this person and Rachel Weisz, but given Rachel Weisz like isn't she's never fully left, I'm like, you know what, no. How do we have John Wick series featuring a bunch of like amazing women and like kick-ass women, and we do not bring back Mila Jovovich as like
Ugh.
one of the ultimate kick-ass
I thought you were going to
heroines?
bring up Carrie Ann Moss, and why wasn't she in any of the John Wick
You can make
movies?
the same argument, but no,
Yep.
like so Mila Jovovich, talk about the 90s, Dazed and Confused, Fifth Element. Like she was everywhere. Like she was next to it, like with Bruce fucking Willis, right? Like she was in it, she obviously did a horrible. Apparently, I've never seen it, but a horrible flop of Joan of Arc, which I believe like disrupted her career badly because I haven't seen it. From what I've read, one of the biggest flops ever. Like that movie lost so much money, and that's why she's relying on her husband, Paul W.S. Anderson. And I think, I'm not saying they need to divorce. I think Mila needs to say, no, honey, I'm gonna work with these other people now. Because I genuinely think, like, first of all, she's, like, let's we not forget, she was a model, supermodel, before she started act. So she is stunning. But she's also, like, a decent actress. I think she has, like, there is something about her. And if not for dramas, okay, put her in the next John Wick movie. Put her and make a franchise about her teaching a young protege, and she's the like she's the coach or a trainer or whoever. Even though she is like in shape, she looks great. Like she could fucking lead the franchise for all I care.
To, to be fair, Luke, he's
Hmm.
been in multiple films in the past couple of years that are like those types of movies.
Not yeah, but those are the movies that are like, hey, they're going to the cinema for a week, and then you can pre-order them on like online next week. Like they are not Hollywood.
Because they're not great. Uh,
Like in the Lost Lands is not a Hollywood production. Protector, Vault Breaker, these are not Hollywood production names. Like yes, like she's never like she is a working actress. Yes, 100%. I'm talking about like she used to be in Fifth Element. She was in Dazed and Confused. She was in like she like you can think many things about the Resident Evil franchise, but the first three, four were really big hits. Like for like compared to like what they spent on it, how much they raised. Like she was bringing in the money besides the awful Joan of Arc movie apparently. Hmm. So I would really like to, and especially if we bring stunts to the academy. Like, from what I understand, she does quite a few of her stunts, and she is a badass. Like, I would love to see a proper Hollywood production, like David Leitch, Chad Stahelski. Put her Mila in one of those movies. She has the physique. She knows how to do action sequences, and not directed by her husband, I think she could be a fucking badass in an actual badass movie made from Hollywood, not from, hey, we had $500 budget plus snacks.
I am not as like
Hmm.
on the Mila Jovovich train as an
Fair.
actor as you are. And to be honest, he he's doing what she fits into. And like I guess the last two big name movies she really had were Hellboy,
Yep.
which sucked, and Monster Hunter, which also wasn't great.
Was Monster Hunter even a big movie? I've seen it.
I
Like,
know it's yet again it's directed by her husband. But like
because I was gonna say the last big movie is like Hellboy 100%, Resident Evil the final chapter in 2016. Like, and
so,
then
but like to break it to you, but Protector was actually a wide released movie.
damn. You know what's funny? Even the poster they have on IMDb just looks like somebody put this together in Photoshop in like 2 minutes.
Didn't love it. I That movie particularly made me mad actually.
Mm.
But she's such an interesting case
Hmm.
because I think the Fifth Element leaned really heavily, like gave her a space to like lean into what really works.
Yes.
And I don't know if that was just a flash in the pan for her, but she's literally has made almost her whole entire career just making movies with her husband.
No, yeah,
So
and to be clear, to clarify, she is not what I'm thinking. Like, oh, she will make a comeback and will win an Oscar. No, but she is. I think she, and as an action star, 100% she's got a chops, and
yeah, and
100%
I
she has
am a
better
little
movies.
surprised that she hasn't circled around a John Wick
Exactly,
movie at this point.
exactly.
And
Like,
maybe she'll pop up in like one of the spin-offs and stuff like that. Or she could be in John Wick 5. I don't know. They just confirmed they're doing that. So
of
whatever.
course they do. Of course they are doing that. Yeah.
Um, but no, there's lot of people out there that it would be great to see them make a comeback and
Hmm.
do something because there's a lot of talented people out there that only got a very brief time in the sun, and fame is fickle. Hollywood is fickle.
Yep.
But,
Yep. Yep. Do you have any honorable mentions, Shane?
um, there's people like a Rachel Weisz who is very choosy about what she does at this
Hmm.
point.
Hmm.
That's I feel like that's more of like a self-imposed, like I'm
Yeah.
just gonna do what I want kind of
Yeah.
thing. I was trying to think like which like character actors I'd want to see in Tarantino's last movie. Because like what he does, and
If that
unfortunately,
ever happens.
I feel like unfortunately a lot of them have passed away. Want to see pop up in some stuff, and that's sad. But I didn't go too far beyond my list, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Like Rachel Weisz was the only one, and I'm like, I think that's a more of a cheat than like in my eyes than Mila Jovovich because like I think she is being picky, and I also knew she like with Mummy 4, she actually has a big Hollywood budget movie lined up, and she was in like Marvel movie a few years ago, so I was
Yeah,
like,
she was a Black Widow,
yes.
and that's the thing too, because there's a couple other ones that have now
Hmm.
like they come like whole almost a ton of the Spaceballs cast
Yeah.
or like, well, I hadn't seen Daphne Zuniga
Hmm.
in so long, and then I saw her in the like at CinemaCon. I'm like, great! I can't wait to see her pop up in Spaceballs too. And like,
Rick
Amanda
Moranis.
Peet, yeah, Amanda Peet
Yeah.
is somebody who's recently like I think she's in the Your Friends and Neighbors, that show with John Hamm on Apple TV Plus. And she was just in a movie that I watched. And I'm like, wow, like she had that. Her and Lake Bell get confused with each other all the.
They look a lot like
Yep,
both stunning ladies. Like,
yep.
yeah, yeah.
But like she was just in a movie that I watched, and that's why I'm like, why? Where has she been? To be
Hmm.
perfectly honest, so maybe her too.
See, and
It was a
like,
very small movie that I
yeah,
saw her in.
and
So
the other people on my like potential list, they've been canceled for many reasons. So I'm like, you know, I'm not gonna argue for those. Like, would it be great to see Kevin Spacey? Yeah, but I don't want to see him again because like it's already hard to watch some of the older movies he's in,
I
and
I
yeah.
think Jonathan Majors is a interesting case
Daily
because
Wire
like
movie, baby. Daily Wire movie.
which is sad because like he's a really talented actor,
He
and
was. He
there's
is.
so many because like there's certain people where you clearly know they're a piece of shit. That whole situation with Jonathan Majors is so weird.
Hmm.
And like, did that ever get like? did he actually get charged? Did that ever get settled or anything like that?
I think it's
And
still ongoing.
so like it's such a weird situation, and then the ripple effect that had
In
because like
my
it was
lifetime, we haven't seen that downfall that big. I don't think in our lifetime. I don't think we ever seen it down because like he literally was just like at the Oscars. He was poised to be the next Denzel.
well, Magazine Dream was supposed to be his big Oscar push, and then he was like Kang.
Yep,
He was
yep,
like the big bad of the Marvel
yep.
Cinematic Universe, and it's just like, what happened? And you know, people are gonna circle back around. And like, here's the thing: do I want Woody Allen or Roman Polanski to make big directing comebacks? No, no, I do not. To be perfectly honest, and Mel Gibson already did.
I would say a last point about this. I would say the Polanski that situation is very bad. So like with Polanski, no. With Woody, I think the situation is much more like there's much more to be said about it. So like with Woody, I'm like kind of like yeah, because like if you actually look into everything that's been said about his particular case, it's not that cut and dry. It's not like an and like it's like people painted one way because it fits the narrative, but like if you listen to what he's saying, it's like kind of makes sense what he's saying. But again, I wasn't there. But so with Woody, I feel like,
Well, here's the thing. As a man who literally put into his own movies him feasting after underage girls,
mm. But
still creep.
no, no,
And
no. But you mean Manhattan? Manhattan?
that man has put his deep internal urges so much on screen
Mm.
that it's hard to argue that he isn't at least a little bit creepy and also weird.
I don't want to be
And
that guy. But like if you're in life in 70s and 80s, a bunch of people have done this, including Jerry Seinfeld.
oh,
Like
I'm not defending Jerry
no, 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 I
Seinfeld.
know, I know. I'm just saying it's
And
been
here's the thing.
yeah.
Here's the thing. I watch stuff no
Hmm.
matter who's in it or whatever.
Yep,
That stuff doesn't bother me. Also, to be frank, Woody Allen hasn't made a good movie in a while.
that's the other thing. Yeah,
And here's the thing, he still makes movies. It's just they don't get distributed here very
correct,
well.
correct.
They're definitely not getting in the theaters here.
Mm-mm.
And like I don't think he's made like a legitimately worthwhile movie since
I would say Blue Jasmine was his last like proper
yeah,
great movie. And it's 2015, 16?
somewhere around there.
So like 10 years, yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of great people whose careers just evaporate, a lot of especially a lot of women whose
Hmm.
careers were derailed because of people like Harvey Weinstein. And then there's a bunch of people, whose careers dissipated because they're bad people.
Yes,
And it's very interesting to see who makes a comeback or not because you never know. There is
100%.
always Quentin Tarantino to pull actors in and revive their careers out of nowhere. So there you go. John Travolta's had it done multiple times.
Multiple times.
Multiple times.
Yep, that is
But
that's a name. But no, okay, this has been a blast. So before we say goodbye, Shane, what movie or our show would you like to recommend?
I would like to recommend Slow West, which is a small Western from 2015. And it's from director Don McLean, who I would love to see more. He just had a film called Tornado that came out within the past year or so. And this stars Michael Fassbender, Cody Smith McPhee, and Ben Mendelsohn.
I heard
And
about this. Yeah.
it's 84 minutes. It looks gorgeous. It's from Robbie Ryan's the cinematographer who does all of Yorgos Lanthimos's films.
Nice.
And if you like westerns, like this is a must see
Hmm.
like modern western
Hmm. Hmm.
from the past 20 like the in the 21st century. I would put Slow West up there as like a must see western for sure.
Okay. I've heard about. I was like, did I watch it? Because like that name is so
It
familiar.
was
I'm
a
like,
A24 release.
that's why. But
Yep.
also like Michael Fassbender. Yeah, like no, no, I want to definitely watch that, especially 824. Funny enough, my recommend is an 824 movie. So I went to see this movie. I thought I'm gonna like it. I didn't expect for me to click this much where I'm gonna say this is so far my favorite movie of this year, and this is wild take, I know. Mother Mary. That
Oh, Annie
movie,
Hathaway's mommy.
that movie just half. So my colleague and I, we went to see it together.
Mhm.
Neither of us have seen a trailer. Like he didn't even know what this is about. Like I only
Yep.
knew, oh, she's supposed to be like a pop star, and that's supposed to be some sort of drama. Okay, cool. And then halfway through the movie, I realized I don't really care how this movie finishes because I am so in this moment. I just don't want this to end. And this rarely happens to me. Like I'm a sucker for movies set in one place for most of the time, which this movie is. But
Mhm.
then there you have these beautiful sequences where there's like allegories to like a religion. Like there's certain shots I'm like I'm not a religious person, but there's certain shots I'm like I'm sure I've seen a painting, a religious
Yep.
painting like this on a fucking wall someplace, like in Vatican or like Italy, like in a fucking church. And the way like what's his name, David Lowry?
David Lowery. Yep.
Yes. The way this dude, it's the same guy who did Green Knight, which is a movie you either hate or love. And I think this is a movie, this is shaping up to be another one. You either love it or you fucking
That's
hate
his
it.
vibe.
Yes.
Honestly. Honestly.
But you can read into this movie what this is about for hours. There are so many layers. And then we get to the two performances, Michaela Cole and Anne Hathaway. Both, first of all, stunning women. Second of all, both incredible actresses. The way they go back and forth. There's a scene where you think Michaela Cole has all the power in this really quasi relationship. And Anne Hathaway does this thing with a red scarf over her face. She's like, no red. And suddenly it flips. And you're like, holy fucking shit. Jesus Christ, I like this. And I think why I gravitate towards this movie so much and why it clicked for me, like the movie always you always think it's gonna make this obvious choice. Like, many people, if you go through letterbox comments, many people are like, hey, they should have made it much gayer. I like the fact that we never actually see them like kiss or say they were lovers or anything like that, because that's an unexpected turn. So they, for all intents and purposes, they were just friends. And then friendship's gone sour because the reasons we learned through the movie.
They were just
I-
friends.
Again, probably there's more. There's probably more, 100%. But like David Lowery never takes the obvious route. And he makes several decisions. Like there's a story about, or a big character thing and big plot thing is this ghost. How it's portrayed, what it means, goes again against everything we know about ghosts. Because you think, oh, ghost story, there's a seance, it's gonna be creepy. And it is for a bit. And then you see this ghost, and it's almost like this poetically beautiful nothing. And the way what it represents and how it looks, I'm like, any lesser movie would be like, oh, this is a fucking representation of this, therefore it must be ugly creature, or this like a ugly design, or this like terrifying. It's a piece of sheet. It's a piece of red sheet, and it's beautiful. And the way that gets resolved at the end, I'm like, that final, not final shot, but one of the final shots, I'm like, holy shit. This movie is a visual feast. This movie is audio feast. This movie is feast for my was feast for my senses. I genuinely, I know it's something to happen, but I genuinely wish Anne Hathaway was nominated for this movie because I don't think I've seen her this doing what she does here at this level. Because it's she starts like, like, oh yeah, she needs a break, she needs a break. Oh, does she now? There's so many layers to her character, and Michaela Cole also, like, if both of these ladies could be nominated, I would be happy. I know it's probably not gonna happen, but I would be so fucking hyped because this movie deserves it. Dave Lowry, like what he does, like I'm lined up for your next movie, dude. Like I'm sorry I ever doubted you. I feel like the Shaquille O'Neal meme, like I am so sorry I wasn't familiar with your game. Like I was because I watched Green Knight, but Jesus fuck, like to me, everything I loved about Green Knight, and I really love that movie, just amplified by 10 this movie. And like there's something that clicked for me, and I need to have 4K like yesterday on my shelf. Like I really need it.
I need to watch this again very, very soon. And it's absolutely gorgeous. I've been listening to the music a lot.
Yep.
There's a lot of bangers
And that's
that they
that's
made
the
for
other
this.
thing. Yeah, sorry.
Like the whole soundtrack is cool as hell too. So I would buy that vinyl from A24.
And Anne Hathaway, like her entire vibe. Apparently, she had to be kind of explained. Like I watched this interview with her, like where she was talking about how he gave her this note, and she was like, "I don't know what to do with this note." So he kind of had to explain how to be this like pop star. But then she nails it. So like you kind of see the reality. Or like, oh yeah, I see why she would be the biggest sensation ever. And the fact that many people are reading like, oh, this is supposed to be Taylor Swift. I'm like, I don't think it is. I think it's supposed to be a culmination of many, maybe. Because the director even said like we're not, or even Anne Hathaway said like we were not like aiming to be one particular person, like whether it's Sabrina Carpenter, Taylor
You
Swift.
got some Gaga
Yeah,
from the
exactly.
theatrics in there and
Yes.
stuff like that. And
So for me, I went into this movie unexpected. Like I thinking, oh, I'm gonna like it. I'm not gonna like it. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. I walked out of this movie. I think I might have seen my favorite movie of 2026, and this is gonna be interesting to see if it tops anything tops this because this experience was fucking wild, and I had a blast. And it doesn't happen often when halfway through a movie, I'm like, I think I'm watching one of my new favorite movies of all time because like I was like in that moment, like, damn, every single decision works for me, and it's beautiful. And it's a shame this movie didn't have any wider release because here in the UK, where I live, it was in the cinema for about a week. We wanted to see this Friday. The reason we didn't see it on Friday is because on Friday there were no screenings. And it only opened the week before, I think.
it's got limited
Yeah.
release one weekend and then a wide release here. And like I had a press screening, so I wound up going to that.
Hmm.
And it was it was an experience. And I want to have that experience again. She's
Yep.
not T Swift, she's not Sabrina Carpenter, she's not Gaga, she's Mother Mary.
She truly fucking
And
is.
Anne Hathaway's mother. Um,
Also, what I'm gonna say,
for sure.
100%. One last, very last point. Do not pay attention to IMDb's rating for this movie because, as many things happen nowadays, we cannot have nice things. It was review bombed by, from what I'm led to believe, Christian fanatics that taken offense to the fact that she is a Mother Mary and like she does ungodly things. Therefore, it's this is like blasphemous, and therefore I'm not gonna watch this movie 1 star. So if you go to IMDb and you see the rating graph, there's a bunch of 1 stars, but like I guarantee you, like 90% are not are from people who have never seen it because this was review bombed. So
Losers.
fucking
Um,
yeah. Like hate the movie
losers.
if you watch it, hate it, fine. We can disagree, but watch it. It's fine.
Losers.
Yeah.
Ah,
But
well,
yeah, this is all I think for this show, unless you have
yeah,
anything else.
I am good, Luke. It's another
So
episode.
exactly, another one in the can. So my last thing is, where would people find you, Shane, if they enjoyed our conversation?
They can head over to the Wasteland Reviewer on Instagram, where I shamelessly plug all the things that I do on the Wasteland Reviewer YouTube channel, where I review new films and my weekly show, Welcome to the Wasteland. I also have my website, thewastelandreviewer.blog, where I do written reviews and monthly articles. I have my shows here on the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network, and there's plenty of them. I have
Hmm.
my contributions at sifpop.com and knockonwoodfilm.com, and you can always check out Letterbox as well. It's all Wasteland Shane or the Wasteland Reviewer somewhere, so
Correct, correct. The Wasteland brand is going strong. And for me, as always, in the movies lost on Letterboxd, here every other Friday with Shane, or on a cinematic Wasteland once a month, or a Wasteland retrospective once a month too. And as Shane mentioned, this podcast is truly part of SPDM Podcasting Network. So thank you for listening, and until next time, bye bye.
bye.